I love cats, and I will do whatever it takes to make my cats live the most luxurious life they can possibly have. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done like a sit down and talk video, but I'm in quarantine now, so I'm in my bathroom, so we are gonna do a sit down and talk video today, and it's gonna be a story time because I'm really bored. So I went onto Instagram and I asked you guys if you guys wanted me to do a story time on how I went from being really broke as fuck, to being really well off, or how I went from being really shy to being really confident. And most of you guys picked broke as fuck to well off, so let's talk about that. So I'm also gonna be cutting my bangs because I've had the urge to suddenly cut my bangs. It is 5 in the morning. I haven't slept yet. So before we get started, let's just define the words broke and well off. So when I say broke, I'm talking like 1 meal a day, living in a box kind of broke. And when I say well off, I mean not having to worry about money when you go shopping or traveling or doing whatever you want, basically. Having enough money to provide for yourself, and also having more than enough money for fun and games, and to splurge on things that make you really happy. So everyone's always calling me a table and wondering how I became so successful to be able to afford going traveling and, you know, buying all my design goods. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little story time. Oh, shimatta. Oh, yeah. 나쁘지 않나? 귀엽지? Wow. So now that I've cut my bangs, let's get on with the story time. So I've got some food here because it's 5 in the morning and I'm hungry. Carrots and an apple and some cakes. We're gonna get started with my story time. So for those of you who are wondering, YouTube isn't my main source of income. YouTube is literally just a passion of mine. It's something that I do because it makes me it's something that I do because it makes me really happy. But yeah, outside of YouTube, I am a businesswoman. My dad is a businessman turned entrepreneur. My family runs multiple business corporations, and I too manage multiple businesses worldwide. I also invest in stocks, but we're not here to talk about what I do for a living. That's a whole story for another video. We are here to talk about the things that I did that led up to this point, and for that we have to go back in time to when I was like 3 years old. Yes, baby Yodi. So buckle up guys, get some drinks, get some tea, get some snacks, and sit down because this is gonna be a ride. This is not a one-way ticket to success. I'm telling you, this is more like a crazy roller coaster ride. I've got tea here. This is lemon ginger tea and my little limited edition Cinderella cup. This is for the 70th anniversary. So cute. I got this from the Disney store. So when I was a baby, I was average. I was born average. I have 3 older brothers, a mum and a dad. My mum, she runs a little tiny clinic, just a really small tiny clinic. And my dad was self-employed. And as a child, you know, I would always pray to God that one day my parents would tell me that I was a billionaire. But that never happened. Instead, I had to go through it the hard way. I actually did have a similar experience. So fast forward till today. I found out a couple months back, my mom told me, last year before my birthday in November, I found out that my grandmother came from a really prestigious, high society family. They were rich, like crazy rich Asians. Rich. No one told me about this. I never knew about this, and I had absolutely no connections to that family. My grandmother passed away when I was 5, and one would think that she would have left me with some sort of inheritance, but no. When my grandmother died, she left us with a rundown house and a dead garden. And this was where it all started actually. When we inherited that creepy old house with that dead garden, my parents were actually thinking of selling that house away to get money. So we started exploring the house at first because it was creepy and the garden was like dead and shit. So we started exploring the house, and then we discovered that the land that the house was built on was filled with an abundance of this substance that I'm not gonna mention because I don't want people to know what my business is about. Not drugs or anything, alright? But the land and the soil were just filled with an abundance of this produce. And so my dad had an idea to make use of that to start our business. The business started off really well, and the money that we got from that business allowed us to actually move into our first family home together. But that didn't last very long, because just because a business is starting off well doesn't mean that it's always going to be stable, especially if you're starting a business of your own. So for the next 2 years, my family was struggling. The business wasn't doing well. We went bankrupt. We had to move 7 times in a month. We lived in a tiny little 1-room apartment, and we ate porridge and soy sauce to survive. That was my meal for the entire day. Just one meal, porridge, soy sauce for flavoring, and that was it. And there was also a point in time where we didn't have enough money to stay together as a family, so we had to be separated. So my dad lived with my 3rd brother, my eldest brother lived alone, and I lived with my mum and my 2nd brother. There was even a time where we didn't have a house to stay, and we had to stay illegally in a tuition center, and then we got chased out. So the business wasn't doing well, and trying to find people who are trustworthy in this business industry is not easy. Back then, me and my family members, we were all very new to the whole business industry. It was our first time starting a business as well. We made the wrong decisions and we trusted the wrong people. Well, we were stupid back then, and that kind of backfired quite a lot. Yeah, my dad went through so much to protect us from these people. He got beaten up, spat on, had hot coffee poured over him, and also got threatened to give these people more money, otherwise they would hurt his family members. And I remember my dad just coming home looking so frantic, asking us to pack and move, and that was what we did. We left everything behind, and these people tracked us down and chased us. And I remember as a child not having a house to live in, but just living in hotels and just moving from hotels to hotels because we didn't want to be found. It took these people around a year to stop. After that, things kind of went back to normal. We went back to work, and I found out that I'm actually quite similar to my dad. We're both very business-minded individuals who are very passionate about what we do. We're the type of people that never want to stop learning, and we're always striving for improvement. I'm basically my dad, female version, and kind of mini. So back then I started getting really close to my dad because we had the same interests. So my dad started teaching me about business, everything he knew about business. He started teaching me. He taught me about stocks, shares, investments. He taught me how to read stock charts. And that was the point where I started to feel something igniting in me. It's weird to say this, but that was the point where I felt something. This burning desire to want to challenge myself. To want more, to want to lead people. I knew from that point onwards that I didn't want to work for anyone else. No. I wanted to be the boss, and I wanted to live a life of luxury. I made the decision ever since I was young, and I strived. We went out, we tried all sorts of business. If it fails, we do it again. We try a different method. I can't tell you guys how to do it because it's different for everyone. Some people have connections and they have it easier. But for me and my family, it's literally all hard work and grabbing opportunities as they come and just making smarter choices when choosing people that you're hiring. So ever since I started learning more about business, I just started cultivating that. Learning more about it, going out and experiencing stuff. To me, in order to be successful, you need 4 really basic things, and that is your attitude, the quality of your work, persistence, and opportunities. Some people call it luck, and while it may be luck for some, that's not always the case. In my case, you have to go out and search for opportunities, constantly trying to improve and just grabbing at whatever opportunity that comes your way. And trust me when I say this, one of them will be it. My family did that for 10 years, and 10 years later, we finally got it. Our family business now, it ranges from hotels to restaurants to resorts to private golf courses, solar plants, and more. And I think we just recently got a prawn farm. Huge, like giant prawns. I love prawns. We went from a family of doing basically nothing to a family of business and entrepreneurs and all that. And this was basically the journey of how we went from that poor family to what we are right now. And this is something that I think everyone can do. It's a joy to hustle. A lot of people don't realize that, but it brings me so much joy to hustle and to work hard. So I don't know, I'm just really passionate about this. It definitely takes a long time if you don't have the luck and the connections, but it's not impossible. And that's basically what I'm trying to say, because in some point of my life I was lower or poorer than most of you guys out there, and I made it. So yes, this is my story. That is how I went from being broke as fuck to being where I am right now. I've said this before and I'll say it again, you have to hustle to live the life that you want to live. If you want to live a life like mine, then you gotta hustle. Some people want a very simple life and they're contented with that. But then there's people like me. I want 20 cats and I want all of them in little LV tracksuits because that makes me happy. That is one of the things that drives me to work harder. I just want to have a house for my cats. I want to put them in a room with like little doors and they have their own private chefs and clothes tailored specifically for my cats and spas. I want that for my cats. So yes, I will do whatever to take care of my babies. And yes, I love my cats. So for people like me, you have to work hard. I had a dream of wanting to buy all these beautiful dresses and being able to afford all these beautiful designer dresses, and I just worked towards that. If you want something, you have to work for it, because chances are it's not going to be served to you on a silver platter. No one's going to give it to you. You have to go out and get it. To me, luck only exists when you go out and find it. At least that's from what I've seen and experienced. So yes, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and always remember to keep hustling and stay humble. See you guys in my next video. Bye!